What's up, guys? My name's Andy Swears, and today we're going to be talking about the Steam Machine. So if you go to your Steam client, you will be able to get a nice little overview of what the Steam Machine will be and different things that Valve will be releasing coming November, and other things that are going to come out later, like the Steam VR. So this video is going to be mainly about the Steam Machine, what it will be doing, and the clarification Valve needs to do about the machine. So if you go under the Steam Machine tab, you will see this, the Alienware version of the Steam Machine. You scroll down and you'll get the link for all the Steam Machines that Valve has given to its OEMs. So very similar to, I guess, how Android does it. Google gives its operating system to Samsung to make their phones. So like this, Valve is giving its operating system, their Linux distribution, to Gigabyte. That's the first one I'm going to be talking about as well. Now, I think what Valve has to do here is narrow down for people who don't know how to read PC specs. I think that Valve has made it a little bit too confusing for a person who doesn't understand how to know how to read PC specs, who doesn't understand the different versions of different graphics cards and what's good and what's not good and what's complete garbage, or doesn't understand what they're looking at. For example, the Gigabyte Bricks Pro. If you look at it, it's a nice looking little box. And for the idea of it playing games, it's a cool idea, especially for the person who doesn't have a lot of space. Now, the Gigabyte Bricks Pro, if you read the little description here, is a bare-bone mini PC. It features high-performance Intel Core i7R. Now, the main thing that I think is the problem with how they're doing this is I'm not sure who is writing the hardware specs, and I don't think they're telling people enough that this does not come with RAM, and this does not come with a hard drive. Now, Iris Pro graphics, that's kind of iffy. I don't like integrated graphics that much. You can use them. Iris is pretty okay, but it's not recommended. You're not going to get 60 frames per second, or you're not going to get a decently good experience with Intel graphics. You're going to get away with it, but you're not going to get a good experience. They're good for like a web-only computer that you're not going to be gaming on, but they're not going to be good for a gaming PC. So I don't understand, like, Valve has a problem as of right now what these machines are. They haven't said it, they haven't described it enough. They're saying it's a way to bring your PC library to your living room. But then again, they have machines that are $2,000 and up listed here. So that's not a machine you leave in your living room to just stream games on your other existing PC. That is a machine all on its own that you install Windows on and you play games from there itself. There's no reason to spend $5,000 or more on a machine that is supposedly not playing games on its own. That's supposedly not giving people, is supposedly not using its own hardware to play games. Now, they haven't specified that enough, and I think for this one, this is the Falcon Northwest Tiki Steam Machine. It's a damn good-looking computer, and I think it looks really cool. I don't know about the flames, but the actual solid colors look really cool, and I think you can customize it. The blue looks amazing because I love blue. I think it is cool that Valve is offering this machine from Falcon, but I still think they have to decide what this is. Is this machine geared for gaming, or is it geared for streaming? Obviously, the specs say it's geared for gaming, but then they're offering SteamOS. And as much as I want to back SteamOS, people who are coming from consoles, or coming from the PC world, or I mean Windows in general, Windows and console, they're not going to understand that a game is not out for the operating system. As much as I'm happy to see games coming for Linux, that this has to be explained more, because I think people are not understanding that this is running Linux, it's running Debian, and not every single game in the Steam library is ready for Linux, and it's even thinking about coming out with a port. I don't think we'll ever see like Arma on Linux, not in anytime soon, unless Steam somehow makes magic happen with the support from developers. If they get enough people to come to the Steam OS and platform and come to Steam OS and Linux, then developers will have a reason to come. Because as much as the people in the community can rumble and shake and talk, money talks. And in the end, money will drive developers to come here. If there's enough Linux people and there's enough boom of people going to Linux, then the developers will follow in turn. Because if Windows doesn't evolve as a gaming platform itself, then the developers will fade out and go to Linux. If Linux can successfully become the next level gaming platform. And I think it can because of different reasons, and I won't go into that in this video because I could talk about that for like an hour. So That's the one thing that Valve has to do, is talk about what these machines' main goals are individually. That my main argument with the machines is running SteamOS, not playing every game. If you bought the Falcon Northwest, I don't recommend keeping SteamOS on it. It is a limiting factor running Linux on that, and I don't like saying that. But for the whole and the sole idea of it running only gaming, if it's just for gaming, then Linux is not ready for gaming yet. It's getting there. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting there really, really fast, and Valve is doing a very good job making that happen. But for $2,000 or up to $5,000, this is not worth the SteamOS and other things that will be bundled with. Now, installing Windows on it, you can do that, and you'll get a really kick-ass gaming PC. Now, is it worth $5,000? No. You can build a much better gaming PC if gaming was your main consideration and not Steam machines, which is it's very, again, saying it and thinking about it is weird because they haven't described what it really is. They've described it in very vague terms, and it's very weird how Valve is doing this, and it's very, very interesting to see. And I want a conversation to happen in the comments below about what you think. Am I mixing this up in my brain myself, or is there actually a real confusion going on currently between what the goals of these machines are? Now, I think the one I like the most is kind of a few. It's the Zotac is one of them. I do kind of like what Zotac is doing around a decent idea. I think it's still overpriced. I think all of these machines are overpriced for a lot of reasons. Because if you're doing a gaming machine, it's weird. It's very weird how to describe this, because for a person like, I think people don't want to think about what game they can't play. I think they want to be able to play every single game. Steam has a massive library of games, old games, new games, games that will never come out for Linux, games that are done being developed, games that will never be ported. And I think that's where the Steam machine's going to end for the games that people really want to play and are going to have to figure out how to do that, either dual booting or different things like that. There's games that you will never see on Linux come. And it's sad to say that, but the newer games, I think Valve it's going to pay a high price to get them here, and no doubt they did for a lot of games. Shadow of Mordor, Witcher 3, they definitely paid a high price to get them on SteamOS and Linux, to get a whole development team. I don't think it's that much different, but I think that Valve putting the money there, they're making it happen, and I do enjoy that. Even though Valve has its interior motives, that they're going to do it for SteamOS, and I wonder if they'll ever break compatibility with other Linux distributions. If they really wanted to do that, that'd be really very upsetting. But I think that if Valve does it right, and they're helping the Linux community in the end, which I do support, but if they ever backstab the Linux community, oh my god, they'll have hell to pay for that. But that, in conclusion, I wanted to include this in the end of the video, was the Steam Link. The Steam Link is what the Steam machine I thought of in my brain was. A machine like a Chromecast, or a device that doesn't have the amazing specs your PC has. It is a machine that goes under your TV, and you plug it in, and on this, it's like ready to connect, and then you go to your computer, you say stream to my Steam Link, or whatever you call it, living room streaming, and you go there, and it goes to your TV, and then you get to play your game on your Steam controller, like Civ 5 or Homeworld, no, not Homeworld, Off-World Trading Company, and you get to play with the Steam controller, which a lot of people don't like the Steam controller. I kind of like it, because I think I like playing around with settings, and I heard a lot of stuff about the settings panel, that I think it'd be kind of cool to mess around with the settings and getting it really, really precision-like, where you can actually play Civ 5 on a controller. Because like I want to play Civ 5 all the time with my friends, but I can't do that because I don't want to sit up and like crouch over my keyboard sometimes. So Steam Link is for people who have a gaming PC already. I think, again, the Steam machines don't have a person to buy them, because they're so priced towards a PC. They're so close priced to gaming PCs that they're almost defeating the purpose of streaming, or using the streaming that Valve is pushing, or in-home streaming. That was a huge thing with the idea of SteamOS and Steam machines, to stream from your gaming PC. But yet they come out with the Steam Machine tab, and it's all machines almost priced to gaming PCs or even higher. So I think Valve has to really narrow down what they should do, what people should do. I don't want to see Valve tricking consumers. Because the last thing I want to see is people who are coming from consoles, coming from other platforms, getting a bad taste in their mouth for PC gaming. So that's going to be it for this video. What do you think about the Steam machines and the Steam Link? Which one do you think has more value for which group? Do you think the Steam machine has more value for PC gamers who already have a gaming PC? Or do you think it's more value for people who are coming from the console? For me, I believe that it has almost no value to either side. People who are coming to console are going to be nothing but confused and nothing but get a bad taste in their mouth for PC gaming in general. And I think from the people who have PC gaming, who already have gaming PCs, are just going to be not a fan, because why do I have to buy another $1,000 machine if I already have mine sitting right next to me? I think the Steam Link is more narrowed down for the people who have a Steam running computer, either of Linux or of Windows. I think the Steam Link is a much better choice in the fact that just the idea of streaming games from your home. I think that's a much easier decision, and I think that's a much less dent in your wallet than Valve wants you to do with a $1,000 new machine. So that's going to be it for this video. Please rate, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.